All right, hi everyone. A bit of a random late night chat, having a bit of fun with my friend Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
Hello.
Uh, and we're just going to be covering all kinds of topics, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And we might even get some input from the people in the chat, and of course we may even cover a little bit of the recent Lawn saga. Hey, J Reviews. Nice to see you're here. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Brad Dean. So yeah, we'll cover some of that, and maybe a little bit more discussion about Black Mirror because I think Andy's seen a few more episodes of it.
Indeed, I have.
Yeah, so which is one of my favourite TV shows of all time. Um, so I don't know where we're going. Let's dive in first with the old Black Mirror. Because you told me you had watched, what was it? 6 million, 8 million merits. That's the episode you've watched most recently?
15 million, I
Fifth,
believe it
that's the
was.
one. Yeah.
First of all, is there anyone in the chat that knows what I'm talking about?
Oh yes, because there might be spoilers here, guys. And if you haven't watched Black Mirror, I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of the best shows ever made. But yeah, so we'll try not to spoil it. Even if we talk about it, it's still worth watching anyway. So yeah, what did you make of? Because I thought that was a very clever take on.
Very, very clever. It had a lot of themes in it with regard to how it's all about how shallow and bad human beings are, but it's kind of yet again a twisted version of the future where our lives are just incredibly shallow and meaningless to an extent, and how sort of mass consumerism rules everything, and how you've got it's disturbing but incredibly entertaining, and I love the music in it. I love it when she sings that song. She's a beautiful girl. I love her voice. I like the song. It was just a really nice part. I actually had it on the same song on YouTube
It's quite a
as I was driving
haunting,
home in my car.
quite a haunting song, if I recall, that she sings, isn't it?
Yes, I love the piano in the middle. It's just totally my type of song. It was great.
And you also watched the episode where because in fact though that 15 million merits, and forgive me, I can't remember the title of the other one, but you also told me you'd watched the episode where they can rewind their memories.
Yeah, someone's just asking for Shaq, which episode? It's the first. The one I'm talking about is the second episode of the first series where it starts off and there's people on exercise bikes looking at like graphics on a screen, and it's all very confusing. But it turns out that they're just like doing it for money, and they live in a bit of a box. It's very bizarre.
If you ever had,
hi everybody, by the way.
If you ever had Xbox 360, the design of that whole thing is very much like with the avatars and that kind of thing. The design of that is very much like around Xbox 360s. No, I know Charlie Brooker, the writer, was a big Xbox player. But also the other episode that we talked about where people can rewind their memories, it's almost happening now with Facebook and all that kind of thing. You can go back and you can see things, and it's very easy. And in a way, you could link this to Lawn. Very easy to obsess over photos and the past and that kind of thing, because the past doesn't kind of evaporate the way it used to.
No, you're spot on, and it's it was brilliantly. I wasn't digging it at first, the episode, and as it went on and on, I just thought it was more and more interesting, and it unravelled a brilliant tale, and it was so dark, and it's just you're right. It just tells you not to dwell on the past and just live in the moment, which is incredible. Which is what I rattle on about all the time on my channel, with regard to my books and stuff like that, and it's just done in an entertaining way. It's just I can't fault it.
Well, if I can do a little bit of shameless plugging for this channel, actually, anyway, Charlie Brooker is a protege of Chris Morris, who, in my opinion, is the godfather of modern satire. Who I'm actually making I don't really know what to call it. I wouldn't call it a documentary, a profile about. It's something I've been working on for ages, because you say Chris Morris and people go, "Who's Chris Morris?" I might have said this when I was drunk the other night, actually. Anyway, but
Only 5 times.
Yeah, I can't remember. But people go, "Who's Chris Morris?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, the movie Four Lines." I go, "Oh yeah, I've seen Four Lines." I'm like, yeah, that's written by Chris Morris. So yeah, Charlie Brooker. But Charlie Brooker is one of my favourite writers as well. Because have you ever seen A Touch of Cloth?
Nope.
Oh, it's like Naked Gun, but British.
Oh, right. I'm surprised I've not seen it. It sounds like my cup of tea.
It's lots of silly word references and things. They're like it's like a police drama parody, and they're like, oh, we've got to go to the rundown estate, and then you get there and it's called the rundown estate, like the sign is called, and that kind of thing, and like, oh, they go, oh, where's the youth club, and the kid's like, that there youth club. And then the sign on the youth club is called Dat Dare Youth Club. But obviously there's much more. And it's got James Nesbitt, who's a great actor in it as well, as the lead. And Saran Jones, who's been in loads of British stuff. But normally very dark, serious stuff. So it's quite interesting to see those characters play like silly versions of the normal characters they would normally play. And then, of course, the rest of the cast is made up from people who used to be in Teachers. I don't know if you ever remember Teachers, but it was where Andrew Lincoln made his name before he became Rick in our favourite show.
No, I didn't know that. It's not my favourite show. It's in the top.
Oh, all right. Well, it's one of my favourite shows. But yeah, I can't believe I haven't watched Teachers. I love Teachers. It was brilliant.
Someone's just asked you, but I'm going to answer for you. If you'll be buying FIFA or PES, well, Adam is very shallow, so he'll be buying FIFA, not the real game, which is PES.
Why does that make me shallow?
Because it's for, well, last year's version was anyway, at least, which you didn't give a go.
I did give it a go.
It's for, in my opinion, the football connoisseurs, and FIFA is just for someone who wants a bit of razzmatazz and the Sky Sports presentation, which is all meaningless at the end of the day. However, the new demo of PES I didn't enjoy, so I may even be switching to FIFA.
I think you would. Although it's just a money-sucking thing, I just can't stop playing Ultimate Team. I just love Ultimate Team. But I did try PES. I played one game of it, and like the players had the turning circle of a tractor, and they ran at about 2 miles an hour. When you press sprint, they didn't get any faster. I thought it was terrible.
It is slower, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's worse.
I think you prefer it because you're an old man and you can keep up with it.
You seem to forget, and I do have to remind you of this, I was fucking a FIFA fanatic not that long ago, and I literally, to the point where I think I called in sick on 2 separate occasions because I couldn't stop playing it online. It was like I was getting a serious addiction. I think I went for about 40 control pads. Maybe not 40, maybe 20. 20 wouldn't be an exaggeration.
Do you really throw your control pads against the wall and stuff when you get angry at games?
Yeah, fucking hell, mate. There's dents in my walls.
I often wonder if I have the opposite to an anger management problem. Like, I don't seem to have enough anger. I've never thrown anything in anger.
Anger's not a good thing.
Well, no, I know a good friend of mine told me the other day how they threw a phone against a wall. And I was just like, why is everyone breaking their stuff? Like, just because they get...
Well, do you know how you said you live in a bubble? I think maybe that's potentially because you've not been exposed, apart from you having your heart broken and shit like that.
Yeah, we've all been through that.
Sorry?
We've all had that though, haven't we?
We have, but yeah, what I mean is maybe you're not that angry because you've not seen life's horrible tragedies firsthand, like I think I have.
No, absolutely. That's how
I justify my anger, because of the terrible injustices in the world that I experience on a... Anyway, we don't need to go into that.
Yeah, no.
It's supposed to be a bit...
no, I can understand. like those things can make you. Well, we don't have to always be light-hearted, but yeah, I understand. But I prefer if I sat down and thought about all the horrors of the world, then I probably would think it isn't a very nice place. You look at all the Charlottesville stuff and everything that's going on at the moment, but I'm just avoiding the media because I've heard enough about it. I'm like, I don't need to learn more about that stuff because it's
There's
just going to
nothing wrong
depress
with
me.
that. There's nothing. At the end of the day, I don't believe that spending too much time reading, you know, reading newspapers and watching Sky News or whatever is that productive anyway, because the media only tell you what the masses want you to know.
Yeah.
I think certain stories are deliberately pushed into the limelight, even though they might not be necessarily that important. It's very strange how certain stories appear at certain times. Sometimes there's going to be like this child abduction and that child abduction. Why is the Madeleine McCann story such a big thing? A child went missing. I don't. Why was it such a huge thing? And it's like still talking about it now. It gets more news time than fucking Princess Diana's murder, death, than Elvis, than anything. You know, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I suppose because it kind of reached out to the nation. I guess when a kid goes missing, it always tugs at everyone's heartstrings, though, doesn't it? You know, I mean,
I just think that it's got. I'm not trying to listen. A child going missing is awful. I personally think that they had more. There's more to it than meets the eye, but I think a lot of people believe that anyway. I don't think they right out and out murdered her, but they know more than they're letting on.
The parents, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some it's not. Some it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's a bit strange, isn't it? But yeah, that's something like it's a curious case, but because there's no suspects and not been solved. But then I suppose even, do you know, like I remember when the I might divulge a little bit too much information about my past here, but when Millie Dowler went missing, I must have been 19, 20, and I was dating a girl who was, I think, 18 at the time, maybe 17. Remember, in England, this is legal. I don't know why I started telling this story. It was like our first date, but we kind of got a bit frisky in my car, and in the light, her face reminded me of the picture they kept showing of Millie Dowler, and I was like, that's a bit messed up. Anyway, that whole thing just blew over, and it wasn't until separately, like recently, when I kind of got this morbid curiosity with how people's minds works and why anyone would want to hurt kids and stuff, that I found out they had locked up the guy. So like her going missing was huge news, but when they caught the guy and arrested him for it, it was barely in the media at all.
Well, that's what I mean by saying that I can't say I know why 100%, but certain stories seem to get unjustly more coverage than they need to, and certain ones seem to get aired at certain times. Like there's always a spate of a similar type of stories. It's like certain topics are being deliberately fed into the public, and I do believe that there is some kind of evil power that's controlling like the Illuminati. I do believe there's something in that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go too much into the Illuminati. You might start sounding like Robert Hocker, but
no, I don't. No, I try not to, because it's I just think it's futile to even fucking ramble on about it, and ultimately it doesn't really make that much difference. You just live life the best that you can.
Well, my friend told me I was an existentialist because I try not to think of things that are outside of my power to help or to fix. I think control might be.
You don't need to, though, do you? I mean, maybe I'm, being an hypocrite to what I said about you earlier, like not exposing yourself to certain things, but you don't have to. Like, for instance, a sort of smaller example would be, I don't like seeing people getting the operations, people having legs amputated and things like that. But if it's on the TV, I will watch it because I think that it's important that you expose yourself to that kind of thing. Does that make any sense?
Do you? Because I turn my head away when there's blood and gore. Like
But I just think that it's part of reality, so why hide away from it?
Yeah.
Because you're not getting the full, not benefits, but you're not getting the full experience of life, and some of that experience has to be in its very nature unpleasant.
True. Can I just want to address Spurdo's comment from Spurdo. I've always wanted to ask you as well why. I understand that it's also a symbol of peace in Hinduism, but do you not think it might offend a few people having that swastika-looking thing around your name? But your comments have always been nice, so I've let it. Yeah, that's exactly. You've just said what I said. It used to be a symbol of peace, but it should have a dot in the top right and bottom left to be a symbol of peace. But anyway. But it's an Indian symbol of peace. That's where the swastika was taken from. But we digress. I found that out when I was in India. Because they had all these like jewelry that looked like swastikas. And I was saying to the lady, you can't sell that. And she was like, what? It's a symbol of peace. But to address Spurdo's comment, I don't hate children. I was just winding up that lady on my main stream earlier. I just was trying to be funny.
Do.
No, I love kids. Not like that. Yeah. Like, you know, that's why I find, like, the whole, like, I love watching the predators being caught and stuff, because kids are brilliant, because they've got that innocence, and, like, they don't judge people like we do as adults.
Children are the best thing. Before you develop an ego,
yeah,
they just naturally be themselves. Like, I remember once, and it's just there's a little spot near where I live, which is by a lake, and it's beautiful in the summer in the sunshine, and I was sat there reading a book in like a favourite spot of mine, and this little lad came up to me, and he must have been 4 or 5 or something, and he just put his arm on my shoulder randomly and went, "Hello, my name's Michael," and I just thought like it was just such a sweet and innocent thing to do, and it was like he didn't have any reservations about like putting his arm on my shoulder. Complete stranger, and just sort of introduce himself. I thought, what a beautiful thing to do. Do you get what I mean? It was like if that was another bloke, you'd be like, I'm not going near that cunt. He's sat in the spot, fucking ass. Look at him there reading that fucking book, and look at that tattoo. What a prick! But you know what I mean? But just such innocence and beauty in children before they start.
They have no preconceived ideas like we as adults do, you know. As we get older, we have experiences that might make us feel one way about different types of people and stuff like that. And even though it's not correct, it's very hard to get out of that mindset. But also what you've said has made me realise I'm very much like that. Like, judgmental. Because like that kid came up to you. Now, if a guy came up to you and put his hand on your shoulder and went, "My name's Mike," you'd be like, "Well, get away from me, you weirdo."
Yeah, you'd want to punch him. And I would too.
Well, but however, I was sitting outside the train station smoking a cigarette the other day. And a guy came up to me, and I thought, oh, he's going to ask me for a cigarette. Well, I've got a big pouch of tobacco. It doesn't matter. And he just went, "I can't roll a cigarette. Can you roll it for me?" Of course, this was in Spanish, so it took me a moment to kind of comprehend what he was asking. But I was like, oh, yeah, no problems. Rolled him a cigarette, and he was like, "Oh, thanks very much." He told me his name, and I told him my name. But he was, I think he was a little bit, and of course I could just be making, it could be a misconception, but he seemed a bit slow, let's say. And anyway, I was on the train on the way home on Friday, and then a guy came and, you know, it always freaks me out when someone comes and sits near you when the train hasn't just come from a stop, like during the journey. It's like, why are they doing that? Why have they swapped seats midway? You pick your seat and you stick with it. Don't change. Once you've got your seat, that's it. But that's irrelevant. And anyway, and he looked across and it was the same guy, and he was like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I was like, yeah. And I just thought, I've just started looking at my phone. I was like, just leave me the fuck alone. I can't be dealing with someone. And I thought, you know what? I don't have that many friends in Spain. Even if he is a bit slow, I should probably be making a bit more of an effort to be a mate with him. But I just
You've been conditioned by the world, and the world's telling you it's a bad place.
Yeah.
And that's the way that's why you react like that. And do you know what? I was in the gym at work today, and predominantly where I work, it's and you know, people of my age, and this kid came in, and he must have been 17-year-old. I didn't even know there was people working that age in where I work, and I just thought, my immediate reaction is, who the fuck's this arsehole? I was thinking, what's this spotty kid doing in my gym? You know what I mean? Fucking hell. And I was like, and then I caught myself thinking like this, thinking, hang on a minute, what, why am I thinking like this? He's just fucking, he's not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's true though. It's because as adults we form ideas and we're naturally defensive, and especially in this day and age, like a lot of the world is a lot more of a fucked up place than when you and I were kids.
Is it though? Is it not just because of the internet that we're thinking it is? I'm just nipping to the loo, by the way.
All right. Well, yeah, in my opinion, the internet has a lot to do with it, because the internet has given, and I suppose these kind of like predator people, they would still be out there whether or not we had the internet, but it's given them a way of reaching younger minds, and it makes me very sad. It's not just that as well. Part of the reason I don't think the internet's a great thing is people lose their innocence so much younger. Like, if you want the most graphic pornography you can think of, then it's at your fingertips if you've got internet access and a laptop or a phone or a tablet. And I think that it's destroying, or maybe destroying's a little bit of a strong word, but it's opening up. People are learning about things they shouldn't at a much younger age, and then they want to try those things, and
the world's changing.
Yeah.
Rapidly, and people are changing, children are changing, the way we communicate is changing. That, speaking of Black Mirror, that episode where what's her fucking name? Ron Howard's daughter.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah.
The one that she was in, where everybody has a score, a social score that's dictated by social media, and you walk round and you're looking at that. I mean, what an ingenious way of describing how the world's going, and I just thought it's just brilliant. And
but it's very true. Like
of course it is.
You and I have
That's
both had.
Brilliant.
Have you ever used Tinder, Andy?
No.
Okay, never ever used Tinder. It's the most depressing fucking place in the world for a man.
I think I did. I might have. I can't remember whether it was that or something similar, but I did have an experience where I was on something like that, and I just found it ultimately. I don't know. It was just. I think I found it depressing as well.
I mean, we might digress. Well, we haven't really got a set topic, have we? Anyway, so digression is encouraged in this chat. But you know, and some people may agree, they may not. But especially since doing YouTube, and I guess to an extent it's different because people get to see some of my personality and stuff. But people have been very complimentary about my aesthetic qualities. Whereas Tinder, I can't get a match for love or money, and maybe it's because I don't have abs or a fucking tiger. But it's really, really depressing. You go through 300 women and not one of them finds your best photo attractive. Then that's...
No, I know. I don't consider myself a bad-looking guy, and I was on one dating website a while ago. I can't remember what it was called.
Plenty of Fish.
Fucking hell, it was hard work. I mean, literally, I just thought, what's the fucking point?
Yeah,
I just came off it.
And the trouble is with those dating applications as well, like men outnumber women so heavily on them. And it's kind of relating to what we're talking about and people losing that innocence and stuff. There's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of guys out there that give good guys a bad reputation. Hey John, hey Chris, and hey everyone I haven't said hello to. I'm only saying especially hello to those two because we play GTA with them.
We need to do that soon, don't we? It's my fault for getting addicted to Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah, but... oh fuck, what was I saying? Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there who they are bastards over the internet because they think it's okay. I mean, it makes for hilarious reading, but type in, like... thirsty Tinder messages into Google. It makes for hilarious reading, but then everyone gets tarred with the same brush. And when you might be a guy like you or I, and you say, and it's really difficult to find that medium where you can't, if you just say hey, they go, oh well, he's fucking boring. It's like, well, you're not giving me a chance. So you've just said hey, and they've gone, well, if that's the best you can come up with. But then the only other option, unless you're really, really creative, or you steal someone else's copy and paste message, is to be like dirty in the first message, which decent guys don't really do. So I think, you know, I was going to say Joe Average. I wouldn't consider either of us Joe Average, but you know what I mean by that. Like normal, nice guys. In this day and age, we lose out to a huge extent, unless you're really handsome or you've got abs. Internet dating is a really depressing place, and it's actually another thing I've been hoping to make a video about. It's going to take a while though, but about why men should just give up on internet dating, kind of. I mean, because I think if I'm on there and I've gone through, that's going to make me sound like a real prick. But if I've gone through,
prick.
Yeah, well, I am. But if I've gone through 300 women and haven't got a match, imagine how it feels for a man who's not as attractive as I am. Like, it's really, really depressing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not that important for me. If I've got to be a prick to get women like that or whatever, I couldn't give a fuck.
But this is why it relates to Black Mirror.
It's like, so be it. You know, I'm not going to change your way. I'm not become a tosser, whatever.
No, but everyone is valued these days on what they look like. It's why people can go. They can go on Instagram and become Insta famous because they're attractive. They might be the most horrible, worst cunt in the world, but they can be, because they're handsome or beautiful, they'll get thousands of followers. And what are they famous for? Because people like looking at them. It's a very shallow world we live in.
Incredibly, it's getting worse like that. I mean, you look at TV programs that are acceptable these days. You know, they're not. I mean, look, Geordie Shore and all that nonsense, and Tow, is it The Only Way is Essex? I mean, what a bunch of arseholes. Yeah,
absolutely. They're all so hollow, all of those people. And it's just, I don't know. And Soph Zucchini has said in the chat, like, can't you meet girls in real life? Thing is, it's not that easy to just walk up to a girl in real life and say hi. I think we've discussed this previously. If you do it, you'll probably be a lot more likely to be successful.
But I just think that when you're meant to meet that special person or whatever's meant to happen will happen if you just live your life as best you can. If you just get on with things, don't live in fear, and just be yourself and be productive and have a bit of fun. It will happen when it's meant to happen. I don't really stress about it.
No.
Well, don't get me wrong, I get a bit lonely sometimes, but I know that if I got that desperate, I could fucking go out and find someone tomorrow if I wanted to, but I'm not.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily about just sex, though, is it? It's companionship as well.
Oh, of course, and, I never get bored, but I get lonely sometimes. There's always stuff to do. But, yeah, of course, we are. I think it was even mentioned in that video I did before with the first Mrs. R, and we were saying, like, we have a natural sort of need to have a close relationship with the opposite energy polarity.
Well, I think,
or the same, depending on your.
But you need friends and you need a love interest. I'm not saying you need that. Like someone like Lorne, for example, he needs that love interest constantly throughout his life to be happy, whether it's real or not. I mean, if the guy had 2 brain cells, he would have realised a long time ago what was going on. But some people, they need that. For me, I'm quite happy being like when I was, or being single, because I've still got my mates around and stuff. But the trouble for me as well, it was like I did a lot of internet dating when I first moved to Spain because I didn't really know anyone. And this, if there's an app to make male friends on, that would be great. But then you just know it's going to end up terribly. You'll be like, oh yeah, mate, do you want to go for a few beers at the pub? And you're like, yeah, wonderful. Okay, get on really well. And then at the end of the night, he tries to kiss you. And you're like, oh, bloody hell, I've accidentally signed up for Grindr again.
Yeah.
So, especially when you kind of get older and all your other mates are settling down and having kids, and then it kind of makes you wonder why, you know, well, I've never thought what's wrong with me, but just like, it does make you kind of want to go out and you date women, not just like because you want to satisfy sexual urges, but because you want a friend. I don't know. I think that was a lot from why I did so much internet dating when I first. I just wanted to say congratulations, Hi YouTube, on being engaged. Excellent.
Who's that?
Hi YouTube. He's only started making comments recently, but a really nice guy. Hi Ed. And sorry guys, I'm really sorry we haven't said hello to everyone. Spazzy, hello. Anahami Turtle, of course. I'm only saying hello to the people I can see in the chat at the moment, and of course Q Mark. And Q Mark's made a good comment there that he thinks most dating sites are set up to make more money from failing at dating. Well, I think also if you look at a lot of the dating sites and they only charge the men. Again, is that sexism reversed?
Is that true?
I don't know if you've ever used Badoo, but yeah. And I think, I'm not sure if it used to be, but it used to be only the men that had to pay to use plenty of, like, you could use the free features, but if you wanted the premium, you had to pay. So yeah, so I think it's kind of, it's a messed up world now. But yeah. So anyway, back to Black Mirror and the episode where everyone can remember their memories. Because we kind of went off on a huge tangent, a very enjoyable one, of course. But the issue with that is it's kind of explaining how Facebook and Instagram, I don't use Instagram, so I don't know much about it, so I'm just saying the name, I might be wrong. But, you know, you put all these photos, I always worry, I don't know if you think this is the same, but like, people that have kids, you know, when they're babies, everyone wants to see them, but when the kids get a bit older, you know, toddlers to sort of, let's say, 10, 11, 12, and their parents are posting photos and stuff about them, and I think, when your kid in 5, 10 years' time, are they giving you permission to do that? Is that really fair?
We could probably, because I wanted to do a full video with you about Facebook. I think we should
We've been talking about that
for then.
Okay.
Because
yeah,
it's just that we've got so many things to talk about, and even as we're talking now, I'm getting more things in my head. I'm thinking, because I think we could do a really good video on that. But it's kind of the same issue as what we were talking about before, and how people's priorities in life have changed and how people's perceptions have changed, and it's not healthy. That's why I mentioned that Illuminati thing, because it is like there is a controlling power in the world. It's like there's a conspiracy that people that we're not supposed to be who we're meant to be, really. But like I said, we don't want to go into that too much. It's way too heavy. Then we'll end up like that fucking. We'll end up with tinfoil hats, won't we?
You're like Robert Hocker writing our fucking weird fantasies for the world to read and post them on a blog.
Yeah, hi Rocker, by the way.
Hey Rocker. Yeah, I would quite like to see the end of dating sites. I think they cause more, especially for men, and people may not agree with this, but I think especially for men, because some of us aren't all disgusting, dirty bastards as 30% of the nation would like to kind of
there's only 50% of us that is, so we're doing quite well there.
Yeah, but yeah, I think they should be abolished, really, because I think, especially for men, they can be a detriment to mental health. That's my personal opinion. And of course, Q Marks just said lots of 419 people on dating sites. So the 419 scammers he means, which are like the Nigerian guys that set up fake profiles and then pretend to be in love and then ask you for money and stuff. And yep, if you guys have never seen it, I made a video, quite an old one, on my main channel about how I nearly got blackmailed. And I was very embarrassed to upload it because I did something which could have, I was coaxed into it, but I did something that was a little bit risque, and I learnt my lesson from doing that, and I learnt that lesson a very, very hard way. But yeah, you guys, if you ever want to check out on
That's
my main...
right, because the dog had rabies.
What? What?
Never mind.
Okay. But yeah, if you guys want to check out that... Yeah, Rocket, it wasn't my world in those dating sites. The trouble is, I'm not very good at approaching people in public. I might seem very confident to you guys here, but in real life, I'm quite shy. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the video, it was called, it was Scam Spotlight #1, How I Nearly Got Sex Scammed. So yeah, go and have a look at that. But yeah, and also, I've said this a million times before, and I'll say it again. Guys, don't send unsolicited dick pics. It's not cool. It doesn't give you a good name. Even if you've got a fucking 12-inch cock, unless you're asked for it, then keep it to yourself.
Just ruined the rest of my summer there.
Ruined the rest of your summer?
How am I going to get by without sending unsolicited dick pics to everyone?
Well, I can't tell you what to do and what not to do, Andy. I just don't see what kind of gratification people could get from doing that.
I must admit, it's a bit odd. I don't quite get it. Although there was a bit of a revelation, I think, from the lawn thing. I don't know whether we cottoned onto it, but he was asked to send a picture of his arsehole. He didn't just send it.
No, he was asked. Yeah. And I saw in your comments... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say, if you was in a relationship with someone, and they asked you to send it, would you?
Oh, absolutely. But there's a huge...
I probably wouldn't. I'd say, you don't need a picture of that. Fuck off.
No, I think there's a huge difference between being in a committed relationship with someone and sending things that you wouldn't send to other people.
Yeah, of course. There is. Was that yours sent last night? Of course. I just think that, I mean, I don't think I'd ever be with a girl that had asked for that anyway, to be honest.
But surely you've received a picture and...
Well, someone's arsehole? No.
All right, I didn't realise we were just talking about arseholes. I'm sorry, right, yeah, to come back to your comments, I was talking in general there.
Oh.
Because someone said in your comments, oh, I think he offered and then he was encouraged. However, we've not heard that call, so I still, again, it's one of those mysterious Ramona Lawn calls that we'll never hear.
Yeah, we don't know the full details, but as I understand the way the conversation went, she asked for it out of the blue, and Lorne sent it. But I may be wrong.
But if you think he thinks he's in love with her, if she asks for it, then of course you would do it. I'm not, again, it sounds like I'm fucking defending him.
Oh yeah, Lorne will love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to know in what context the videos or pictures of him pooping.
Let's not even go into that. That's just rancid.
Yeah, but well, no one wants to go into Lorne's feces, but yeah, you're right. Let's not go there.
No, but when you said about being in a relationship and someone says, then absolutely, I think it's fine. If you receive a sexy picture, then you can send one back. But you don't just meet someone and go, oh, here, have a look at this. What do you think of that?
What's erotic about an arsehole?
Well, I'm talking about dick pics, tit pics. I'm talking about everything now.
Right, okay, sorry.
Mm.
Seems to be minorly obsessed with pictures of arseholes at the minute.
Yeah, you keep bringing it back to the arseholes. Um,
Well, we can't get past it now, can we?
well,
Let's just continue to talk about
we're stuck in this arsehole.
bubbles.
Yeah. No, the thing is, I don't mind
Bubbles.
if it's an attractive woman. Don't mind
What's
seeing
wrong
it.
with that?
What's wrong with it? It's a question. I don't mind, but I want to see the whole shape of the whole thing, like not just the whole. Like if you're just concentrating on the where are we going?
Well, is
Uh,
that what you said when you did it for the first time? Where am I going? Oh,
I've never sent a picture of my arsehole. I'd like to put that on record now. So yeah, no, I've never done that. I've never been asked for it, which is why I've never done that. But I don't think it's necessarily unattractive if done in an artistic fashion.
fucking hell, no comment.
Yeah, but Andy, we know you're a prude. I remember listening to your videos and you're like, he's gonna lick her ass. I'm like, come on, Andy, like you've never given a rim job.
I can't get my head around that, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You never taken a shower with a woman?
Well, obviously.
Well, it's not obvious.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, you know, you explore.
Not there, I don't.
Well.
There's plenty of... Let's stop talking about arseholes.
This is the best part of the chat.
I must admit that like there seems to be more comments in the comment section now.
Yeah, the viewers has gone up as well.
It's going up all the time. If we carry on talking about arseholes in an hour, your subscriptions will have doubled. That shows how fucking. That shows what you were saying about people before. I think you're right.
Right. Well, we're being rather, to use the therapist's favourite word, rather candid here. You've never received a rim job?
I'm not commenting on such things.
Well, I will happily say I have, and it was awesome. So, and maybe we should then leave that at that. But yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a bit of tromboning.
Yeah. Let's leave it. Let's talk about.
We've gone so deep in the arsehole, I don't know if we can come back out.
What about? Apparently, there is a form of sexual interaction where people eat each other's feces.
Oh, no, because now that's really rough.
Oh, come on, man. What's up with you?
Because that's disgusting. Like,
You've
what?
never had a taste of somebody else's shit. What's up with you, man?
Oh, now you're just trying to wind me up.
I'm not.
Right, so you won't lick an arsehole, but you'll happily eat someone else's shit.
I just don't want to see it.
What? Let's just cover it in whipped cream and Andy will gobble it down.
I clearly am joking. I just thought I'd see if anybody fell for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, what about sex with animals?
No. How many animals have you had sex with?
Well, none, but people do, don't they?
I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
What about the advert on GTA 5? Piss Wazzer, he starts shagging that pig.
What?
The Piss Wazzer advert in GTA 5.
I don't remember that.
You must have seen the Piss Wazzer advert. Have a drink of Piss Wazzer, drink for the USA. That one. And then there's you need to watch the Piss Wazzer advert from GTA 5 where it shows the bloke shagging a pig.
No, I don't.
Fuck the Dutch, yeah. See, Q-Making has got it wrong. It's just a racist It's just a fucking brilliant video. It's just hilarious. You've got to watch it. Just type in when we're done here. Piss Wazzer. You know what Piss Wazzer is, don't you?
Yeah, yeah,
The
of
beer
course.
in
Yeah,
GTA
yeah.
5. Piss Wazzer advert. And it's just an hour of pure comedy gold. An hour, about a minute. It's like, yeah, what does it say? Piss Wazzer, German fighting lager for export only.
Yeah, well, no, I don't, because that's animal cruelty. An animal can't consent, and I
It
don't
wasn't
understand.
a real pig. It's in a computer game.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, well, well, these people need to watch the first episode of Black Mirror. Well, I shouldn't give it away.
You've just mentioned that the first episode of Black Mirror has pig sexual.
No, I've alluded to that. You're about to affirm it. Don't spoil it for people.
Everybody's seen it.
Honestly, that first episode disturbed me for months. It was almost as disturbing as the Hollyoaks male rape scene. Jesus, that was horrible. Why they would
It
put
was such a shocking plot twist that it made it sort of, interested that you couldn't turn away.
I just thought it was really distastefully done. It was just done for shock value, but it really... I have an irrational fear of yellow Fiat Unos ever since doing that, because I'm just like, I see one of them like, how many men have been raped over the bonnet of that? But anyway... Rockers asked, would I ever do bondage? No, I'm not into like that stuff, to be honest. That S&M leather stuff, I'm like, after all the stuff I've been talking about, I'm quite a vanilla person.
I'm a breast man, by the way.
See, if you haven't guessed, I'm an arse man.
Well, we had guessed.
But yeah, yeah, no, like, I don't know, tying people up and stuff. I want to know the person I'm with wants it. I mean, that made it sound really bad, doesn't it? But no, I want it to be reciprocated. If someone said, like, if, like, I don't get these people that have these, yeah, with a little restraint, Q-Mark, if we're talking, like, some silk scarves wrapped around the wrists tied to the bedposts for a bit of fun, that's alright, but no, I'm not into this, like, fucking fully tying people up and taking them to Alf Ramsey's rape dungeon. So, yeah, no, it's not my cup of tea. Oh, well, if a girl asked me to tie her up and spank her, I wouldn't. Well, the spanking thing's a little... It's...
weird.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's got some kind of bizarre tie into parenting.
Yes, it's a little incestuous.
Yeah, it's like... yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're literally divulging all of our kind of fetishes during this conversation. I'm sure that's not what a lot of people have come here for.
Well, I'll just come clean and say my preferred is to just one-on-one sex with a female and rampant. That's pretty much it.
I see. My preferred is 10 girls, me, a few bottles of lube.
Well, you know how I feel about threesomes, but
yeah.
No, if I ever want to die, it'd be a naked girl avalanche.
Cleanest best Coke can. Are you referring to whether I'm a breast or an arse man? I did answer that question. I'm an arse man, as I said, but I like it all, to be honest. Tits,
no, you don't.
arse.
You just like assholes.
No, I'm not fucking Ramona, am I? I like the female form. I like shapely women. But yeah. You were saying something, Andy, and I got confused.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
that's the way we're going with this.
Well, we're
oh, someone's given us a dislike.
Of course they have. We've lost 3 people since we stopped talking about arseholes.
That's very true. Should we continue?
No. Let's not. Yeah, guys, I would appreciate this. This conversation has become a lot more candid than there's that word again, than we expected. So let's not let this spill over into either mine or Andy's main channels. This is why we have this channel to talk about some weird stuff.
Yes, it's a forum for anything about anything, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm not too keen on this hashtag. I hope it doesn't start trending on Twitter.
What?
Have you not seen two people who just hashtag Adam loves the arsehole?
You should, get like a new photo for your channel to flash up. Hashtag Adam loves arsehole instead of I wreck everything.
What is Edward Masterson's sexual fantasies? Sir Edward doesn't have fantasies, he does them. But they're too disgusting to even mention. Let's just say he doesn't differentiate between men and women. His last time I spoke to him, he said, every hole is a goal. Yeah, so we haven't been on speaking terms for a little while.
Chris wants me to do an impression of him. I can't remember how I did it. Just give me a few minutes and it might come back to me. I'm very fucking tired at the minute. I've been up for what time are we on now?
I can do an impression of Chris. Yeah, fuck it. I hate women, I hate Jews, I hate everyone. I'm sorry, Chris.
That was brilliant. Especially the Jews bit.
Yeah. He's never said that, by the way. Please.
Yes, he has. He tried telling us how he was related to Hitler.
I think Chris has just come up with a good new channel name for me. I wreck arseholes.
I think that's a new channel name for him.
I'll do an impression of John. Oh, that's quite easy though. It's just because it's not that dissimilar from our accents. John.
I could do one. I'd have called them jazz wazers.
John's like, no, this fucking game. You're a mad cunt. That's John. But if you guys need to watch some of the COD Crew videos to understand the people that we're doing the impressions of, I think I've just rolled a cigarette and I've just then dripped. What am I drinking? Rum and tropical juice all over it. Andy, if you haven't passed out, you've gone very silent. All right, well, common courtesy would say you might mention it.
I know, but you was in full flow at the time, and I thought I could sneakily do it and get back without you noticing, but unfortunately I failed.
Real question from the end is near, beware. I had a girl ask me to piss inside her. I wouldn't. Would either of you do it? No, I wouldn't. Is my answer to that?
No, I wouldn't.
That's pretty rank, to be honest.
Yeah, what Christ, so he fucked her in the ass. That's fucking funny. That is
well, funny. Ain't that pretty? She sucked on her own shit.
Brilliant. Fucking hell, we've gone to some pretty dark, no pun intended, places this evening, haven't we?
We should just retitle this the Depraved Stream.
What, should we see how depraved we can go?
Can we get any more depraved?
Hey girl, I think we can.
Okay, let's see if we can notch this depravity up to 11.
We've not really talked about the sex with animals thing that much.
Why do you keep coming back to sex with animals? I don't want to talk about it. And Andy, you must know what I just referenced there, surely?
No.
Turning the depravity up to 11?
You've lost me.
So the biggest Simpsons fan in the world hasn't seen the movie that the people who write The Simpsons made before they started writing The Simpsons? Are you honestly telling me that?
Go on.
Spinal Tap.
Oh, okay, it's got Ira Shearer in it, hasn't it?
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen it.
You've never watched Spinal Tap?
No, but
ridiculous.
I think I clearly need to.
Yeah, you really do. So you might know every Simpsons episode, but you haven't seen the origins of the Simpsons writers.
No, I distinctly remember the one that they were in, the Spinal Tap episode. You go, "Good night, Springton. There will be no encore."
Yeah. Oh, that's when he has to look at the back of the guitar for the next. Oh no, is that not the Chili Peppers?
Nobody rocks like Springfield.
But yeah, Spinal Tap is a fantastic movie. One of the best. I think it is a British movie, but yeah, Harry Shearer was in it. It might just be all Americans pretending to do it. Rocker wants to know if we go downtown with the ladies. What gentleman doesn't in this day and age?
I think she mean. Do you mean together, Rocker?
What? What? Like as literally as in going downtown for like a Chinese buffet?
I think she does mean. I read that one of two ways. Do we both go on the piss out on the? Do we both go town to town drinking, trying to tap up the ladies, or do we go down on a woman?
Well, I thought that was what Rocker meant, and my answer to that would be yes, obviously. Of course, I'm a gentleman.
Yeah, so am I, but it depends on the woman. For instance, I've been with women generally sometimes when I'm drunk and wake up and I've thought, oh Christ. Generally, the less attracted I am to them, the less I want to do that to them. But if I really fancy them, I'll fucking go down on them for a week.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and there was something else. Christopher Guest, Cleanest Best Coke Can just mentioned. I don't know if any of you guys ever watched Ricky Gervais Meet. It was he only did 3 episodes, and am I right in saying it was Christopher Guest? That was the guy that put him off doing any more of the shows because it was so incredibly awkward. But yeah, I'm not sure. It might not, because he met Larry David and they had a great time together. And Larry David is one of my comedic heroes along with Ricky Gervais, of course. And then he met, it wasn't Harry Shearer, was it? But he met, I think it was Christopher Guest. I might be wrong, but it was, yeah, it was really awkward. If you guys could date one woman in the world, who would it be?
I know the answer to my question.
Right. And are you going to spray us with your knowledge?
Spray you with
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I suppose we've got to go down the famous person. But like, there's so many like famous women that I probably have to say Lily Allen.
I don't really get. She's cute. I don't get your obsession with her, to be honest, though.
But I like cute though.
Reminds you of a child. I'm such a bastard. Yeah, if we're talking famous people,
if we're allowed to go down the children's road, then can I change that?
Fucking hell. What's it like the fucking... Oh no, I don't even know if I should even bring it up, but it's pretty fucking terrible. I was going to say, Andrew's going to choose the girl from Lazy Town.
I was thinking younger than that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Have you ever seen when they have guests on Teletubbies?
Yes.
Well, there was one.
Oh, I know you'd like the fucking the baby in the sun. Oh God, this has got dark.
What the fuck are we talking about? Cleanest Best Coke Can has just said what's John's sister's name.
How do you know about John's sister? But that's who Andy would date if he could date anyone in the world.
Hey, it was Chris that asked it first, not me.
It was Chris that started that off. Oh Jesus! Fuck! I've lost my composure now. I don't know what to do. This is meant to be my stream, and I can't control
Chris
it.
Anthony's coming for you guys. You're getting tarnished with this brush as well now, Adam.
I know, it's only Andy. I didn't say that. No, the reason that I was laughing about the girl from Lazy Town is because if any of you guys have watched Ownage Pranks videos, there was a guy who was obsessed with that girl. And he like phoned up as if he really screwed the guy over. And at the same time, the relief on the guy at the end when he found out. Now, I don't know how old that girl is in real life, and the guy he phoned wasn't actually that old himself, but he had like a very strange, beyond obsession with her. And he did this video where he kind of phoned up the guy and he was like, yeah, we know about you liking her and she's only like 14 or whatever. And then at the end, he said it's all just a prank. And I was like, the guy was so relieved, but at the same time, like, he put it on the internet for 2 million people to know that this guy fancies 14-year-olds. But yeah. Yeah, guys. Sorry, Frigid. You've just arrived. We've been depraved and we've gone down some very dark channels. Do be aware we are joking with a lot of the things that we say.
I'm not.
Hi, YouTube has a crush on Dora the Explorer. Is that weird? She is Latina, so I can understand. But no. No, and in fact, to come back to what?
Bumholes.
No, not bumholes. Not having sex.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, no, the bumhole talk was fine until you brought feces and fucking animals into it.
Well, what else is in your bumhole but feces and animals?
Well, no, it's not. I mean, you don't put your tie in that deep, do you? Jeez, oh.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to tell me about that.
I'll show you if you want. Oh.
All right, then let's shut the stream down.
Well, no. Yeah, to answer the question we were asked ages ago, out of famous people, if I could marry any of them, mine would be Sofia Vergara. Marry, fuck, kill, John, Chris, and Andy. Oh, that's too... I can't answer that cleanest best coke can, because that's like playing favourites. Yeah, no, it wouldn't be fair to answer that question. I would marry all three of them in a heartbeat. That's how much I love them.
That's very... I'm insulted that you didn't just choose me in front of everybody else. Right, that's it. I'm going.
I'm being a diplomat.
How long have we been streaming for? I'm getting very tired.
An hour, so we can close down. I mean, I know you want to...
Masturbate.
Yes.
To pictures of ourselves and animals and other things.
Well, yeah. Tell us some... John wants to know some shit experiences we've had with women. The thing is, mine are all... I'm quite... You might not believe it after this chat. I'm quite a romantic. So my experience, they won't be funny. They'll just make you want to cry and be like, oh, he's had his heart broken. Because I'm just that nice a guy.
You are. Let's be honest. Spazzy just said she's American and will take Robbie Williams. I like Robbie. I've got a bit of a man crush on Robbie.
Have you? You see,
yeah.
I mean, I've only ever had two man crushes, and they're not sexual. I've not like looked at them and go, oh, I want to jerk off over them, but I just thought they're very pleasant to look at. But neither of them were Robbie Williams. I'm a modern man. I can be open about this. Like I found David Boreanaz very pleasant to look at, but it was more like an obsession. Like I wanted to be him rather than because Cordelia was hot as fuck. And I used to love the show Angel, so I got a bit obsessed with David Boreanaz. I bought a long black coat and cat boots, and everyone thought I was copying Neo from The Matrix. I was like, no, I'm copying Angel. And then the other one was, more recently, was Tom Hiddleston in The Night Manager.
Are we talking about the guy that wrote...
Loki in the Avengers?
And, no, I'm just reading what Chris put. And yeah, it's Millennium, Robbie Williams, Millennium. Not the other one.
Yeah, not Robin Williams, Robbie Williams. Rocco wanted Spike, not Angel. Do you know Spike, when they filmed the Buffy and Angel series, Spike was like 20 years older than the rest of the cast and was getting to do all these like steamy scenes with girls 20 years younger than him. I went off Spike after the season 6 rather dark scene. So, yeah. Oh, Kuma, was Julio based on anyone famous? He was. He was a culmination of Enrique Iglesias, Cristiano Ronaldo, and just kind of general kind of Latin lover type people. But yeah, that's Julio. When I did my hair, when I first did stand-up as Julio, the hair was based on Cristiano Ronaldo. And yeah. In fact, a lot of him was, yeah, I'd say the biggest influence for the Julio character was Cristiano Ronaldo, because it was at the time when he was kind of having that love child that no one knew who the mother was and stuff, and he was kind of coming out going, yeah, I'm the best looking man in the world, and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, I liked Angel Chris as well. It was, Spazzy, if you'd like to see my stand-up, hang on. I'll put a link in the chat. I've got some of it here, if I can find it. Things I don't even know how to get into my old account anymore. So I can't actually, like, if anyone leaves comments or anything, I can't reply to any of them because I've lost the login details for this. This was my first ever YouTube account. Well, even it's incredibly hard to find online. Wait, it's because I've written Googlebox instead of Gigglebox, that's why. Hold on. Right, hold on, guys. Here you go. Wow, this had like 56 views a few weeks ago, and I mentioned it in a live stream a while ago, and it's got 400 now.
Jesus, that's good going.
Yeah. Right, guys, if you would like to see me doing stand-up, it's a character stand-up, but I'm just putting the link in the chat here. There you go. That's me in character as Julio Juvia, if any of you want to see it. And if you come to the streams on my main channel and you see me doing the the Julio voice, that's where it came from. But the character's more or less dead now, I think. I did it in stand-up like that because it was a lot easier to take. It never went badly, but if it didn't go well, I could always go, well, they don't like Julio. It's not that they don't like Adam. Someone here with a rather fitting name, Cleanest Butthole Pleasures. But yeah, I think we're kind of coming to an end, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I can't see the like and the dislike count, so I hope if you have enjoyed it, do leave a like, guys. There's a
good ratio. We've not done too bad.
Oh, can I just make one?
Considering the content of the stream.
Of the stream. To Moz's comment, the red-haired girl in Buffy. Willow was like every geek's fantasy, though, wasn't she? Willow was like the girl everyone. She seemed more obtainable, and I get why people liked her because of that. But for me, it was all about Cordelia. Yeah, well, hi YouTube. If you've got stand up, I'd like to check that out. So I'll have to have a look at your channel. Oh, hey, Miss Kizzy. Yeah, sorry, we're kind of wrapping things up. We've been going for about an hour now. It's 1:30 in the morning here, and I have to work tomorrow. It's not a national holiday in Spain every day.
Sorry about that, Miss Kizzy. But we will be doing hopefully another one at the weekend. Maybe. I mean, we can do these often on your second channel, can't we, Adam?
Yeah, more, yeah. Just, it's nice to come in when we have it. Well, we had a few topics to talk about, and we were going to kind of discuss a bit about, you know, the comments you received for the latest Lawn video as well. But we kind of digressed into depravity for a long time, which has been a lot of fun.
Well, we could do more of the Lawn thing on my channel at another time, couldn't we?
Yeah. Is Andrew on my Discord queue? I've hardly been into my own Discord yet. It's all been set up by Corey Grunkle, you know him as. So I don't really know what I'm doing with it. Chris, I'd be more than happy to have you on in the future. Nice to get a sort of man who hates the world's perspective sometimes.
Even more than me, which is quite remarkable.
But yeah, I don't even have the link for my own Discord. How rubbish is that? But yeah, Corey wanted to set it up, so I said go for it. But, you know, I will try and stop in there from time to time when I can. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and Andrew, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, cheers, man.
I guess we'll catch up with you all later. Yeah, if you haven't done so already and you have enjoyed time with us, I do appreciate the likes. Well, you know, I kind of thought with this channel, I'm never going to go on about that sort of thing because this channel is more like just a creative outlet and a bit of a mess. I was going to make a cookery video the other day, and then they didn't have any roast chickens in the shop, so
Didn't have porkless bites.
they didn't have any porkless bites. No, but they didn't have any air for me to buy. So yeah, thanks so much everyone, and thanks again Andy, and take care, and yeah, I will see you all soon. Yeah, and I'll be streaming on my main channel as always, Midweek Matachods tomorrow, so be there if you can. It'd be quite nice because I received a bit of strange hate today, which was something quite new to me, so I need you guys backing me up. No one puts baby in the corner, that's what they say, isn't it? I think that's from Dirty Dancing. Anyway, take care everyone, and I'll speak to you all soon, and goodbye Andy.
See you later.